Keeping the American Express Platinum card for 6 years, even with its $695 annual fee, might sound a bit crazy, but here's the truth. I get more than that in value year after year, and that's not by accident. With the right strategies, I've turned this card into my highest value card out of my entire lineup, and you can too. So in this video, I'll go through exactly the 13 things you need to do now to unlock all of that value, including a new way I found to unlock value from a once overlooked perk. So even if you are a longtime user of the card, I bet that you'll still find some surprises in here. Alright, kicking it off with the first must do for any Amex Platinum card holder, hitting that welcome bonus. If you're new to the card, this is the most important thing to focus on right away, as it'll give you the easiest and highest value return, often worth over $1,000. To earn it, you'll need to hit an $8,000 minimum spend over the first 6 months, unlocking that 80,000 points. Or even more if you're lucky and targeted up to 175,000 points. That's a huge range, so check all of your options from the Amex website, physical mail, or places like CardMatch. Now, $8,000 over 6 months, or about $1,300 per month, might be routine for some, but for others, it might take a bit of planning. So here are some strategies to help. First, plan around big purchases, as in only apply for the card when you know you have major spend on the horizon, like appliances, home renovations, weddings, or even holiday shopping. Second, front load your purchases. Consider moving up your routine purchases or bills, prepaying things like utilities, subscriptions, or insurances for the entire year, or stocking up on some commonly used items. Third, if you're going out with friends or a bigger group, be the one that picks up the bill and then just has them transfer you afterwards. Or if it's a work event, see if you can pay for it first and then expense it later. Typically, it's a small enough hassle that people actually avoid it, but for you, it's a great way to get a ton of spend. And if you really need to, fourth is to pay taxes with the card. Yes, you'll incur a 1.8 or 1.9% charge, but it's minimal when compared to the value you would miss from not hitting the welcome bonus. Again, best if you don't need it, but if you are struggling, it's a great option. Because like most other cards, the welcome bonus is the first and most straightforward way to get a jump start of the value. With 80,000 points redeemed at about 2 cents per point, that's $1,600 of value, a 20% return on spend that you would have done anyways. If you're lucky enough to hit the 175,000 points, that jumps to over 40% return. Bottom line, be strategic in your spend and make sure you lock in that welcome bonus, which is a huge and relatively easy win. Now, speaking of spending, the second thing you must do, or in this case never do, is to spend on the card. Except for 2 cases. Even though I've had this card for 6 years, it's rarely ever in my wallet for day-to-day spend because it's just not designed for that. With only 1 times back on most purchases, it's hard to justify when there are other cards giving you 2 times points on everything or 3 to 5% back in certain categories. In fact, the main reason to pull out the Amex Platinum card is when you're booking for flights direct with the airlines, taking advantage of the 5 times points multiplier. Personally, when I'm traveling internationally, I'll try to use points to book business class so I avoid cash altogether, more on that in the video here. But when I do pay cash, I'll first check if there's any cards I have with credits on them, like the $300 travel credit on my Venture X. If not, I'll book directly with the airline using my Platinum card, which also keeps it simple in case any issues come up, so I don't have to deal with third parties like Expedia or Booking.com. For example, a $500 flight on the Platinum card earns me 2,500 points, which at 2 cents per point is $50 in value, a 10% return. The second reason to reach for the Platinum card is due to its strong shopping protections, like purchase protection covering damage and theft, extended warranty, or return protection, which is my favorite, giving me peace of mind when buying final sales or when the retailer won't take the item back. So while it may not see that many charges, when it does, it delivers some amazing value for those specific high value transactions. Alright, third up is a benefit that can easily slip by, and that's to switch your payment methods on certain subscriptions to the Platinum card. The digital entertainment credit offers $20 a month towards certain services like the Disney bundle, Hulu, Peacock, and a few others, but only if you're paying with the Platinum card. That's a total of up to $240 of value per year. So if you haven't already and you subscribe to any of these services on the list, Switch over to the Platinum card as it's an easy way to trim $20 off of your monthly subscription costs and get more value from your card. That said, don't feel pressured to subscribe just to use this credit. There are plenty of other ways to get value from the card. Personally, out of this list, I've only used Peacock during the Olympics and will probably cancel now that that's over. While I don't have any evidence for this at all, but I feel like Amex maybe considers your usage of benefits for retention offering discussions, so I just avoid using perks on things that I get zero value out of anyways. Okay, fourth on the list, activating your Walmart Plus membership or switching over your payment method to take full advantage of the yearly $155 credit paid out monthly. Now I know what you're thinking, you don't shop at Walmart and you don't need any of their delivery services. That's what I thought too, but there's a lot more to the benefit than first meets the eye. Walmart Plus includes perks like Paramount Plus streaming subscriptions, discount on fuel, early access to Black Friday deals or other exclusive deals. Even if you aren't a frequent Walmart shopper, you may find some of these benefits quite useful. I mean, things like free prescription delivery with no minimums or free flat tire repair can come in really handy for a lot of people. Another essential benefit on this list of things to do is number 5, understanding and using your lounge benefits, especially since one of them, Priority Pass, requires an extra step of enrollment. This is still one of my most frequently used perks across all of these years, as every time before I fly, I check the Amex app to see what type of lounges I can visit at the airport, and it's been a game changer. For example, flying out of Seattle, I have lounges like the Centurion Lounge, Delta Sky Club if I'm flying Delta, and a couple Priority Pass lounges. Departing from Vancouver, I can visit the Sky Team Lounge or even the couple Plaza Premium ones there. Even traveling abroad, being able to experience some interesting spaces with some pretty great food and drinks beats expensive and mediocre airport food in a loud and noisy food court any day. Altogether, this lounge benefit gives you access to over 1,400 lounges around the world through multiple networks like Amex's own Centurion lounges, Delta Sky Clubs if you're flying with them, Plaza Premium, Priority Pass, and a couple other smaller networks. Just be sure to enroll in Priority Pass since it needs that extra step. Most of these lounges will also allow you to bring up to 2 guests with you, except for the Centurion Lounge. But in general, this perk itself could bring you hundreds of dollars in value every year, especially when you're making the most out of it for you and your guests every time you fly. So before your next trip, open up the Amex app to see just how much value this can bring to your travels. Alright, number 6 on the list of things you need to do now is use or reevaluate the Equinox benefit, especially if you had previously just written it off like I had. For a long time, this credit felt pretty much useless to me. A, because there's no Equinox in Seattle, and B, my apartment or work has some great gyms already, so I don't need another membership. But that's finally changing. Seattle is finally getting an Equinox gym, but I still don't need another gym membership. But that's where the community and other cardholders' experiences comes in, with many of them reporting using this benefit towards massages at Equinox locations, rather than towards the membership itself, getting access to book these through the 7-day Equinox Plus trials, with some of them even getting a first-time discount. It's an option I'm definitely considering whenever the Seattle location opens up, if the perk is still here at that time. You see, a while back I noticed the Lounge Buddy credit disappeared from the product page of the American Express Green Card, but I could still find the benefit page through some Googling, only to be officially gone soon after. Right now, I can't seem to find the Equinox benefit on the Amex Platinum Card website, but I still can find the benefits page through Google, so maybe it's some foreshadowing? I do hope it sticks around, but if not, at least hope that it'll be replaced by something better or easier to use. Alright, the next 3 benefits are ones you want to use before the end of the year, given they're mostly use it or lose it perks. With a combined value of $500 of credit, this is a big value you don't want to slip by. Starting with number 7, the annual $200 airline fee credit. This one can be a real game changer for travel. Once you've selected your preferred airline of choice for the year, you'll get up to $200 back in statement credit for incidental charges that includes things like food on board, checked bags, lounge passes, or seat selection fees, not cabin upgrades. The seat selection part is a standout one, because a lot of these domestic airlines have a section in the front of economy that gives you early boarding and extra legroom, but is still considered economy class, which is probably why why it usually qualifies. Personally, I've used this credit plenty of times booking that section called premium class on Alaska flights, especially cross country over to New York City, which is typically $100 or $150 each way, a perfect use case. And don't forget, you can update the selection every year, so be sure to choose the one that you'll fly the most that year. Number 8, the $200 hotel credit, which applies to any prepaid hotel bookings through the hotel collection or the Fine Hotels and Resorts collections, giving you those elevated perks like better check-in and out times, experience credit, room upgrades, breakfast, and more. I've used this benefit over the years for stays like in Hawaii, or for incredible value booking stays in Vegas, given the room rates are typically lower, but you still get the same amazing value from those perks. And here's a tip, you don't need to finish your trip before the end of the year. You just need to book and you can stay even next year. That way you can still use this year's credit and not feel pressured having to rush a stay. And then number 9, the Saks Fifth Avenue credit, which you should use ASAP, given it's use it or lose it at $50 every 6 months. Whether Saks is your usual store or not, there are plenty of options for everyone, from clothing and home goods to kitchenware and even small appliances. Personally, I use this chance to buy gifts for White Elephant during Christmas, and this year I'll probably use it in store when I go on my New York trip. But whether or not you use it online or in store, just be sure to use it before the deadline. And here's another tip, if you're purchasing online, be sure to check if there's any Rakuten links that gives you some major cash back, often going up as high as 10 to 20% back. You can also even earn that cash back through American Express points at 1 cent per point and stack even more value, which is something I've been doing over the years. Now, next on the list is a benefit that's been one of my easiest to use ones over the years, and that's the $200 Uber cash benefit dished out monthly. But you need to do a quick setup first to make sure you're not missing out, and that's adding your Platinum card as a payment method through the Uber app, and then also make sure the toggle is on to use the Uber cash that's deposited every month. If you do Uber rides often, it should be pretty straightforward to use, but with Uber Eats and the tons of fees piled on nowadays, the best way in my opinion to stretch this credit is to actually just order for pickup and then just get it on your own to avoid those fees. Also, make sure you're paying with a Platinum card, because if you switch to a different card, maybe you're trying to double dip with a 3 times on the Sapphire Preferred, it won't work. You need to be paying with a Platinum card to be able to use that Uber Cash. All right, number 11, which I forgot to film earlier, but it's perfect timing now that it's holiday season and I'm here in New York City, and that's to regularly check your Amex offers and make sure to add these offers to your cards before you make the purchases. In my experience, these offers are leagues above any other issuers, and I've personally saved over $500 using these offers alone. Checking right now, I have some great offers from Burberry, Expedia, Sephora, Lululemon, Amazon, supermarkets, and more. The best part, many of these are applied as statement credits, meaning you can still stack savings, coupon codes, or sometimes other links like Rakuten to get cash back on top of these statement credits. Make it a habit to check your Amex offers tab often, maybe a few minutes a month, and make sure to add the ones that you'll probably use to your card. From there, the value you get from the card will only stack and stack. All right, number 12, and you definitely don't want to overlook this one if you travel often, which if you have this card, you probably do, and that's enrolling in or linking your Marriott Bonvoy or Hilton Honors accounts. Because once you do that and you get your complimentary gold status just by holding the Platinum card across both of these programs, it can be a game changer for your hotel stays, even just occasional ones. With Hilton Gold, you're getting benefits like bonus points on stays, room upgrades, daily food and beverage credit or breakfast, and a free 5th night on award stays. And with Marriott, you're also getting some bonus points on your stays, better check-in and out times, room upgrades, and more. Sort of like when I got a room upgrade on one of my work trips at the W in San Francisco. Even if you don't have immediate plans to stay at these hotels, just do it now so you have it all set when you do want to travel. Just 1 or 2 of these upgrades or some food credits can add up to hundreds of dollars of value. And bonus sub tip here, do the same with your car rental programs, because you get elevated status for those as well, giving you things like bonus points or class upgrades whenever you rent cars. Next, if you're a foodie like me, you'll definitely want to use the global dining access through Resy. Simply create an account and link your Platinum card to get access to exclusive reservations, priority notifications for spots, or even some VIP treatments at certain locations. As we're looking to book some popular restaurants for my upcoming New York trip, it can come in pretty useful. And don't overlook the Amex concierge service either, especially when they have some top-notch customer service. They can assist with pretty much everything, and I've personally had them help with some restaurant suggestions, as well as help book some restaurants when I was traveling to Japan, especially when there's a language barrier if I was to try to do it myself. But speaking of Japan and travel, here's a bonus must-do, and that's to use your hard-earned points wisely. Yes, you can redeem for cashback at 0.6 cents per point, but that's pretty poor value. Other options like gift cards could get you maybe 1 cent per point. But by far the best way to use your points is by transferring and redeeming through one of Amex's 21 travel partners, giving you experiences like these and these for just a couple $100s and points. I've done so several times over the last few years, and so can you by following the exact breakdown here in this video, and I'll see you over there.